Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, Infinite Facts. Some friendships might end, and some people just fade away from our lives. But a dog's love, that's something that never, ever dies. Today, we're diving into the most loyal dog stories that will absolutely break your heart. But also remind you that loyalty, in its purest form, still exists in this world. Let's start with a story many of you might know, the tale of Hachiko from Japan. Back in 1924, a university professor brought home a beautiful Akita puppy and named him Hachiko. Their bond was immediate and incredibly strong. Every single morning, Hachiko would walk his owner to the train station to see him off to work. And, like clockwork, every evening, he'd be right there, waiting at the station for his best friend to return. It was their daily ritual, a perfect picture of companionship. But one fateful day, the professor never came back. He had suffered a cerebral hemorrhage at work and passed away suddenly. He never made it back to the station where his loyal friend was waiting. For anyone else, that would have been the end. But not for Hachiko. He didn't understand what had happened. All he knew was that his human was supposed to come back on that train. So, he kept waiting. Day after day. Through sun, rain, and snow. For 9 long years, Hachiko returned to Shibuya Station, hoping to see his owner step off the train. His story touched the hearts of the local community, who fed and cared for him. He waited until his very own final day. Today, if you visit Shibuya Station, you'll find a bronze statue of Hachiko, his love, his loyalty, cast in bronze for the world to see. Next, we travel to Argentina to hear the story of Capitán, a German shepherd whose devotion knew no bounds. In Lil, Capitán's owner, Miguel Guzman, passed away. In the grief and confusion that followed, the family noticed that Capitán had disappeared. They searched everywhere for him, for weeks, with no luck. They feared the worst. But then, they found him. In the most unexpected place imaginable, at the cemetery, lying right by Miguel's grave. The incredible part? No one had ever taken him there. The cemetery was far from their home, a place he'd never been. Somehow, on his own, Capitán found the final resting place of his beloved owner. For the next 11 years, Capitán made the cemetery his home. He refused to leave. The cemetery staff grew to know and love him, calling him the guardian of the cemetery. They said he would wander the grounds during the day, but every evening, as the sun began to set, he would faithfully return to Miguel's tombstone, curl up beside it, and sleep. He was guarding his best friend, even in death. When Capitán eventually passed away from old age, he was found lying right where he had spent all those years, next to his master. He was buried nearby, reunited with his best friend at last, exactly where he belonged. Let's journey now to 19th century Scotland, to the city of Edinburgh, and meet a small Skye Terrier named Greyfriars Bobby. His story is a legendary tale of loyalty. Bobby belonged to a night watchman named John Gray. The two were inseparable companions. Sadly, John contracted tuberculosis and passed away in 1858. He was buried in Greyfriars Kirkyard, a local cemetery. From the day of the funeral, Bobby refused to leave his master's grave. He made a small shelter for himself and stood guard, day in and day out. For 14 years, through freezing Scottish winters and stormy nights, Bobby remained at his post. The townspeople were so moved by his devotion that they took care of him. The keeper of the kirkyard tried to evict him, as dogs weren't allowed. But the public outcry was so great that the Lord Provost of Edinburgh himself granted Bobby a special collar and license, declaring him a responsibility of the city. When Bobby finally passed away in 1872, he was not allowed to be buried within the consecrated ground of the cemetery itself, but the city gave him a special honor. He was buried just inside the gates, and a headstone was erected. It reads, "Let his loyalty and devotion be a lesson to us all." His story serves as a powerful reminder of the profound connection between a man and his dog. His loyalty isn't always about waiting, though. Sometimes, it's shown in the heat of action, in moments of incredible bravery. Let us talk about the unsung heroes of the military, the Navy SEAL dogs, and rescue heroes of the United States. These aren't just pets. They are highly trained soldiers. Dogs like Cairo, a Belgian Malinois who accompanied Navy SEAL Team 6 on the raid that took down Osama bin Laden, are true warriors. These dogs perform life-threatening missions alongside our soldiers. They jump from helicopters, rappel down buildings, detect hidden explosives that would otherwise be catastrophic, and even engage threats to save human lives under intense fire. They form an unbreakable bond with their handlers, a bond forged in the crucible of conflict. They trust each other with their lives. And what happens when these brave dogs retire from service? Many of the soldiers they served with will do everything in their power to adopt them. After facing the horrors of war together, they are not just partners anymore. They are family. This isn't just about giving a dog a home. It's about honoring a brother in arms and ensuring they live out their days in peace and love. Surrounded by the family they fought so bravely to protect, that bond is for life. Finally, let us look at a modern miracle that shows this loyalty isn't just a thing of the past. It happens every day. In 2017, a rescue dog named Max became a hero. His owner, a woman in Florida, was fast asleep when a fire broke out in her home, the house filled with thick, black smoke. She was completely unaware of the danger, but Max knew. He started barking frantically, relentlessly, making so much noise that he alerted the neighbors. They heard his desperate cries for help, broke down the door, and pulled his owner from the burning house just in time. Max suffered from smoke inhalation and burns, but he never left her side, not even for a second. His bravery saved her life. When his owner was later asked why she thought Max did it, why he risked his own life for her, her answer was simple and profound. She said, "Because that's what love looks like." And she's right. That is exactly what love looks like. These stories, from Hachiko's patient wait to Max's heroic rescue, all show us something fundamental about dogs. They don't care about your money, your job, or your flaws. They don't judge you. They just love you, completely and unconditionally. Through their actions, they teach us humans what it truly means to be loyal, to be devoted, and to love without asking for anything in return. Their hearts are pure, and their love is a gift. If these stories touched your heart as much as they touched mine, please share this video with someone who has ever loved a dog. Let's spread these incredible tales of loyalty. And do you forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more stories that remind us that kindness, love, and unwavering loyalty still exist in this world.